Sanje Shingo Mende Namda Shingla Chöpa Sho Idama Guru Radha I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and supremacy. By the merit of the teaching of Dharma, may I achieve Buddhahood for the sake of all beings. Sangye Chödam Dhargey Janam Laha Jo Bado Dani Dhargey Chöshe Gibe Sonam Dola Penjari Sangye Tuba Sangye Chödam Dhargey Janam Laha Jo Bado Dani Dhargey Chöshe Gibe Sonam Dola Penjari Sangye Tuba Okay. So, okay, if I said, like, take your time to reflect from beginning to devotion up to karma. Last time we finished the karma of 7. So up to there, if you reflect it, if I say, can you do that? Hey, hello. Hey, Ronnie. So can you do that? So like I reflected last few times, we're reflecting from beginning of Lamrim, Guru devotion up to karma that we did it, right? So you can do your own way, or you need a guide. Okay, so then the above are going briefly. Okay, I'm not going with the detail. So again, set up like a intention with bodhicitta, which has a true aspiration, thinking that let all living beings, to let them achieve Buddhahood, all mother sending beings, let them achieve Buddhahood. Therefore, I have to achieve Buddhahood first. Or another way to say, all mother beings have to free from suffering. This is my responsibility because they are so kind to me from beginningless to until now. With a parent's form, without parent's form. And still I'm doing self-centeredness, only looking my happiness, forgetting all this kindness mother beings are suffering, which is not really good. So therefore, I should be repaying their kindness. And this is the time for repaying their kindness. So best repaying their kindness is let them achieve the Buddhahood. This is the complete out of suffering. In order to let them achieve Buddhahood, I have to attain Buddhahood first. Otherwise, I cannot help them. So therefore, I need to achieve Buddhahood for the sake of all beings. In order to achieve Buddhahood, myself Buddhahood, this depends on practice. And then practices depend on study, learning. In order to doing the study or practice, this depend relying on teacher. Without relying on teacher, I cannot complete all this my practice when I don't know all this path. Therefore, understanding all this path and doing perfectly practice is depend or rely on teacher, guru. Therefore, I have to engage first, very beginning, guru devotion practice, guru yoga practice, as I have to engage. And then main practice of the devotion is follow the guru's instruction. The following guru's instructions is this first. Guru instructed to me think human leisure and opportunity, which I have it right now. That human leisure and opportunity no more longer is remaining, will be end soon, and don't know when it's end. So therefore, thinking and reflecting on that impermanent. After death, where I have to rebirth. After death is not the completely ending of life. Has to be take some rebirth. And this life until now, look at my practice. I'm definitely rebirth in lower realms. If I love rebirth in lower realm, then how many different types of suffering? that I have to experience. Feel it, each lower end, you rebirth in hungry doors, what's happening with you. You feel it. And then go on, another rebirth. Therefore, I have to protect myself, rebirth in lower ends. So in order to protect him, I have to rely on a path. And then who can protect me, freeing from lower end, lower end. Only the three jewel can let me free from lower ends, which is Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. In order to free from lower ends, I have to keep my refuge practice stronger and stronger and stronger. Taking refuge means that I have to take practice of Dharma. Therefore, I have to engage karmic causality practice in order to free from lower end. That I have to know karma. In order to knowing karma, that karma is settled. If you want to free from suffering, you should abandon negative actions, negative karma. Because negative karma, the only that brings you suffering. The only the cause, substantial cause. If I want to rebirth in higher realms, seeking more happiness, I have to engage virtuous actions, virtuous karma. This is the only cause, substantial cause of happiness. Because karma is settled. Practicing to abandon the negative karma, even like a small negative karma, killing inside, small line, all these things I need to take care. I cannot ignore because of this small negative action. Because karma magnifications multiply day by day. That's like a flower, putting one seed, keep it on earth, keep pouring water, and then day by day it's growing, and then finally many flowers comes. One seed gives many flowers, that keeps a long time. Same as all this food and corn and weeds. One seed, keep it, and then put more conditioner, putting in there, it grows. Same way, if small negative single karma, without purifications, if we keep it day by day, it will be multiplied. It can be huge karma, which can bring you a lot of heavy suffering. Same way, if single small virtuous actions, engage it, don't ignore it is saying small, could be multiplied. It gives you big result. If you continue to meditate on reflecting on the karma is multiplying, find out more example how it's multiplying, find out more reason. And then feel it until you get a strong feeling the karma is multiplying. Then you have to find out more result, and more reason and example to prove it. How much you think more reason and example, that much brings you feeling, that much brings you understanding deeper. That's how we need to reflect on each part of meditation. Okay, now we're going to start here. So therefore, if you want to do more deeper, you should go back and read Lamrim, which we reflected. So don't ask every day, I need a fish, right? So here, what called string. Here the what called the catching up fish. What's it? What's it? Rock? What? Okay. Oh yeah, wine and everything's here. And then how to fish it. Okay, this is the how to fish it. Okay, now okay, you catch it up. You knows it. Then tomorrow you are asking, give me fish again. Don't do that. Give me fish again. Yeah. So this is like telling you how to catch up the fish, right? And then you know it, then you are not pay attention, you forgetting, and once time you need a fish, then you ask them, give me fish. So that's the things. Okay, now again, connected with our intention, achieving Buddhahood, as said, is depend on practice, is depend on study. So, and then what is the subject of study is, main subject is Lamrim, stage of enlightenment, and then specific subject today is six perfection. Within six perfection, there are patience practice. We're learning six perfections for achieving Buddhahood. So within six perfection, we have finished the generosity, we have finished the morality practice. So now today we are on a patient practice that we need to study. Okay, so and then again, same like outline, so which is Lamsang over giving it, but maybe one time read all this outline, okay, and then it's let you understand the brief summary of the topic of patient practice. It's how to train in the perfection of patience, and then first asking what patient is, right? So that we need to know about what means patience, and how to begin the cultivation of patience, same that has a morality and generosity, how to begin it, right? So the devotion of patience and developing the patience of disregarding harm done to you, the three type of patience, right? Stopping impatience with those who harm you. Stopping impatience with those who prevent your happiness and with those who cause you to suffer. Showing that anger is unjustified. On analysis of the object of anger is unjustified. On analysis of whether the object has self-control, anger is unjustified. Okay. On analysis for either advantageousness or inherency, anger is unjustified. On analysis of whether the harms is direct or indirect, anger is unjustified. On analysis of the cause that impel that harm doers, right? Anger is unjustified. On analysis of the subject, anger is unjustified. On analysis of the basis, anger is unjustified. Analyzing the cause of harm and where the fault lies. Analyzing your commitment. Showing that compassion is appropriate. Okay. Stop impatience with those who prevent your praise, fame, or honor, and with those who have contempt for you, or say offensive or unpleasant things to you. Stop impatient with those who prevent three things: praise, fame, or honors. Okay. Continuous reflection on how praise and so forth lack good qualities. Reflecting on how praise and so forth have faults. The need to delight in those who prevent praise and so forth. Okay, this all topic is talking within this the patient subject. So again, continues, stopping impatience with those who do three things to you, have contempt for you, or say offensive or unpleasant things to you. This is the same, right? Okay. Stopping both dislike for harm those, the ten mains, and delight in their troubles. Developing the patience of accepting suffering. Now it's second type of suffering. I mean, the second type of the patience of three things. This is second type of patience. Developing the patience of accepting suffering. Okay, now how? The reason you must definitely accept suffering. The way to develop acceptance. Rejecting the idea that when suffering occurs, it is absolutely unpleasant. Showing that it is appropriate to accept suffering. Reflecting on the good quality of suffering, reflecting on the advantage of bringing sufferings or bearing suffering's hardships. Okay, so two parts. Reflecting on the crucial benefits such as liberation, extra, liberation on the benefit of dispelling immeasurable suffering. So how it is not difficult to bear suffering if you gradually go accustomed, right, to it, starting with the small. A detailed explanation from viewpoint of the basis, developing the patience of certitude about the teaching, how to practice, as summary. Okay, so the main three type of patients talking here, and then each the explanation with the detail as goes like other type of explanation there, right? Okay, now first here. So what is patience? That's our the Lama Tsongkhapa gives here what we call let's say definitions. Yeah, definitions here. Say it says like a disregarding harm done to you, the one mind. Actually, when again think the patience here is mental stage, right? The patient means mental stage, not the physical things. It is mental stage, same as like a generosity and morality. All these six perfection is the mental stage, right? But it has a company with the physical body actions, verbal action, right? But the main mental stage, same the patient is mental stage. And then what kind of mental stage? That's the Lama Tsongkhapa describing here. Disregarding harm done to you, accepting the suffering arising on your mind stream, and being certain about the teaching and firmly maintaining belief in them. So it's saying one mind should have these three kind of thought, right? So disregarding harm done to you, being patient with the, like I say, okay, let's say the last one is being certain about the teaching and firmly maintaining live in them. So okay, yeah, the one mind to how to say do you understand what it's saying here? Disregarding harm done to you, accepting the suffering arising in your mind stream, and being certain about the teaching, and firmly maintaining belief in them. Do you understand what it means? You understand how you describe the patience? Now, this is the giving the definition. Yeah, entity of identifications of patience, right? The definition of patience. So how you think now this only. But this definition, what do you think about it? No, it means that I'm not saying one by one. All these three giving definition as the patience practice. How you can describe one mind can having these three. Okay, otherwise to say, when you read it, right, and what comes in your mind, how you should say the definition of patience after you read these three. In nothing academic. It's disregarding harm done to you, accepting the suffering arising in your mind stream, and being certain about the teaching and firmly maintaining belief in them. This is the definition.
I'm not sure of the question. The definition of very all three
No, what you understand now, definition. How you, after you read, how you describe patience. Yeah.
Let my mind disturbed by thoughts, emotions, very strong conviction, very add to the practice. I don't know.
Yeah, actually it says mind does not disturbed by these three kind of things, right? Mind, the impatience means when the mind just disregarding harm done to you, when it's disturbed to you, that mind is disturbed to you. When someone harm done to you. If it's really disturbing your mind, it's called impatience, right? Impatience. The patience to shouldn't not allow you to disturb, or say not becoming disturbed, never disturbed to your mind by these three things. So which is harms to, which is like a harm by someone, and then which your own suffering. Like accepting the suffering arising in your mind stream, right? So the patient is accepting suffering, with your own suffering. When you have a suffering, it's accepting it. The patient mind is accepting it. So impatience cannot accept it. So therefore, that which is thing mind is accepting this your own suffering. So you not let you disturb it. Accepting means not let you disturb, not cause you all any harm intentions, right? So once you have your own suffering, or you like a harm done by someone, so it could be arise you the intention, harmful intentions. So that disturbing. The mind is never have disturbed by this tool, or never let you have harmful intentions, or never let you have any uncomfortable feelings by this greed. That's the patience practice, right? So third one is saying here, the being certain about teaching and firmly maintaining. So for example, meditations. When you meditate, it's some kind of, you have uncomfortable. Some you have a disliking mind. You don't want to do it because of their you do not see any benefit, or because of its feeling you brings more suffering. So they're disliking mind, which you don't like to do these things, Dharma practice or so these things. These are also disturbing your mind, right? So impatience means doing good things, doing that which has a benefit. So whether you like or not like, if you are wants to do it, if you are allow you to do it without any disturbing mind, without any like uncomfortable feeling, that's the patience. The third one. So therefore, these three, Lama Tsongkhapa was giving definition of the patience. Put all these three condition, cause or causal condition, which could be brings you disturbed mind, or which could be arise you have harmful intentions, right? So, but it means not that one patient's mind has to be these three altogether, right? One of those, whenever one of those is disturbing you, you're not allowed, you're never becoming disturbed by this one of those anytime. That's the patience, right? So sometimes you have like you have a patience for your own suffering, but you do not have a patience for others. Then that patience not really called its patience, right? So you accepting your own suffering, and you think it, okay, I have a suffering now, so this is like caused by something, then it not allow you to disturb mind, right? So, but you can do it with your own suffering, but sometimes you cannot do with like other people harms to you, or like sometimes you being like a forbearance with your relatives, someone harms to you, you think it's not really harms you, you think more you accept it, even harms to you, your relative harms to you. But when some other ones, which is not relative or which is your enemy, harms to you, you again disturb your mind, then you never have a patience practice. The patience practice, you know, the Buddhism describing compassion and patience is like a complete one. It's not really counted. You have a sometime you do have, sometimes you do not have. That not counted. You do have a patient practice, or it not counted that you have a patient with someone or not something. It not counted practice. Same as like compassion. Compassion has to be like a same wish for all sentient beings equally, right? That we call compassion. Same way, the patient has to be patient with all beings, everything equally, or mainly there's three, which is these three main things not allow you to disturb. Then you have a patient practice. One of these disturbing or one of these not disturbing, you have a mix, you do not have a patient practice. That's the definition of patient practice here, right? Mm-hmm. Say it again. Yeah, I wanted how you do it. Yeah, it is on. Mm.
When I think about these things,
Mm-hmm.
I find the way that helps me the most is to actually become one of those three first.
Mm-hmm.
Teachings, because with that, then that actually, as a teacher, then it makes it easier to discern easier to
Oh, you are saying how to do patient practice.
how the definitions
Any of these three, right? Any of these three. It doesn't matter like a third one or second one, fourth. Any of these three to disturb your mind, that means you do not have a patient practice. Yeah, patient practice should be not disturbed by any of these three. Sometimes we feel that I have a patience with one of those, but here describing is not really patience because you are losing impatience. You are having impatience with the another things, right? So that's we always choose, right? The object beings are choice, things are choosing. Would you like it? You have more patience. Would you don't like it? You do not have a patience. That's how we need to go. Once you have a patience practice, I mean like not practice, when you attend the patience, there are no choice. Anytime you it's not disturb to you. Anytime, right? It's whether you like or whether you don't like. It's not disturb your mind. It's not cause you have a harmful intention. That's the patience we call it. Right?
Notice there,
Uh-huh.
you said you obtain patience and you like it, you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't bother you, obtain patience. Can you obtain patience about something that bothers you, or does it go to be patient and shoot about it?
Shouldn't bother you. Yeah. Yeah, shouldn't bother you. So this is the definition of patience, right? It's therefore you just being patient with your close friend. That not really patience, right? It's kind of similar like patience. Patience means need to be complete one, right? So as I give example as a compassion. So many of you thinking, I do have a compassion because when I see the injured person, I feel very sad, I'm helping. Therefore, I do have a compassion. I'm always saying this is not compassion, right? The Buddhist point of, I'm not saying this is compassion. So same way, if you do have patience with which is close to you, which thinks you like it, and then if you do not have a patience with who you like not close to you or things you don't like it, then means you do not have a patience, right? So you need to do more practice of that. So once you have like that kind of mind, any of these three, anytime, everywhere, never disturb your mind, never cause you to have harmful intentions, that you attend the patience. Until then, you need to do patient practice. Mm-hmm. Any aversion means? For example, what she give me an example, then I would maybe understand better.
So Geshe, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so when I say without aversion, you said that patience is accepting any one of these. And so when you say accepting it, do you mean like not having feelings of not wanting it to happen? In other words, if somebody yells at me, is patience just kind of hearing that as any kind of other speech and not feeling like, oh, I need to get away from this?
Okay. So I cannot catch up the beginning what she said. You're not understanding clear? Yeah, that's not what.
Good question. Really, right, whether or not you're feeling the emotion of aversion, you're doing it, but it smells, right? So you're holding your nose and saying, okay, I'm going to practice patience here. But I think that's what kind of
Okay, let's say then I will give you the definition clearly. This is which Lama Tsongkhapa said, and then in the Bhagavad text it says the essence of patience is the mind that does not become disturbed by suffering or harm, inflicted by others. So that's the patience practice. So then suffering and harm, then you can go more detail with these three, like which is harmed by others, which is harmed by your own suffering, or you are not patient with you don't like to do with the good things, or which is beneficial things, right? So that's can be more described can be go detail with like this. But in general, say the mind that does not become disturbed by suffering or harms inflicted by others. That's the patience. Okay. Okay. Mind is calm, right? Never disturbed. That is not really called impatience, right? The patient impatient is the mental stage. As far as your mind is calm, as far as not disturb your mind, that is patience. Statistically, you can avoid it or you can within it. That's a challenge, right? So that not makes difference, but mainly as well as your mind is need to be calm. So, yeah.
Because that's the loss of courage.
Mm-hmm. If you avoid it,
yeah. If I think to myself, well, I think I want to walk away. I need to avoid this. That's the loss of courage. I don't have the courage. I don't have the courage to deal with something.
Oh yeah, that's not necessary. It's say you do not have any like a disturbing mind with someone, right? And you try to explain it, never listening. What are you going to do? You just keep staying with it, nothing with, or you just leave it.
We try to accept something. Opposites here. There are three sets of factors compatible. The first hostility, the second hostility, and loss of courage. Suffering is too much for me. I need to go away.
Then her question is, I think, not really clear with me. She's not really say individually like that. She in generally asking, mine is okay, mine is never disturbed, but avoid is okay or not, right? It's general. The avoiding that you are avoiding because you cannot handle it, you are avoiding because it's not helping. What is the avoiding? How you avoiding? Right? So avoiding it's you cannot handle it. That means still kind of like a. It's not really called impatience. It's oh yeah, perfection practice. Impatience is way longer. So yeah, it's not really called. It's not really called. So whoever perfection practice, they will not like if they see some benefit, they will handle it. Yeah. So therefore, yeah, is there something that even your mind is calm, right? Never disturbed by, but there's no reason to stay with it, no benefit to stay with each other. Then no reason to stay there. You can avoid it. You can leave it, right? So that's the I think we can do it. So again, because I'm repeatedly talking about the definition of patience, because we all every time we have a confusion, right? Even like a compassion, I'm saying here, right, repeatedly again and again, but still you think it, you have a compassion. But it's not make different whether you have a compassion or not, right? So if I just not repeat it, you feel it, I have a compassion, I just living there. What is really disturbing is not increasing, it's not developing it. You are satisfaction with it. Once you're satisfaction with it, you do have some kind of like a compassion, but not compassion which can cover by all these things, right? So therefore, same way, you could have some patience, but the patience which is not cover you everything. Once you have a patience with all these like three main condition, so that it's cover everything, then never cause you a problem. Okay, Ronnie.
How is the practice of the mind connected?
equanimity mind correcting the connected with the patients. Yeah, of course, equanimity mind is the biased mind would say you are being more patient with who you like it. You are not being patient with who you don't like it. And equanimity mind not like us try to see these two person is same for me. So once you see this two person is same for me, therefore you will not do okay more patience here, less patience here. You will not do that. You will equally do same patience. Yeah. Yeah, this already discussed it. So once we talk about the bodhicitta, all this like equanimity discussion with it, you don't have to do say it again here. It's done. You have to put it together because the like equanimity mind bringing with every single practice is Lamrim will become that much big, right? So therefore, Lamrim already discussed on that. It's clear. So it's before compassion is talks that need to be applied for everything. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So back to your original question about the definition of patient, we don't talk about this. What is the purpose of patients? And so you have to talk about anger, right? And so for me, as
if you like more wants to know about what was the purpose of patience, will become later. It says a benefit of doing patience, fault of not doing having angers. It will become loud. The next text, next paragraph. Yeah. So can you wait until that? Okay, it will be more understand. So okay, so again, one more time. Let me read it. The mind that does not become disturbed by suffering or harms inflicted by others or your own. So and this is the patience practice. Therefore, you really need to know about what is really patience mean, and then if you try to have that mind, the patience, then you have to go with like a mini practice, right? So and then otherwise, someone thinks I'm gentle, I have a patience. Then, like say, just satisfy with you have some kind of patience with your what called biologically, or like naturally you have it with the born. Then what are we learning then, right? So we're learning here to develop that seed. This is the kind of a seed. This is kind of like a fundamental which we can develop it. So, and then part of developing, they really need to know the patience. And now here talking about the perfection of patience. It's a little bit different. The patience and perfection of patience, which I give definition here. The mind does not become disturbed by suffering and harms inflicted by others. This patience, the definition of patience. And then the definition of perfections of patience is say the mind that does not become disturbed by suffering and harm within four characteristic or four quality. That's the we call perfection of patience suffering, which is need to be realized emptiness, right? And then seeing this like who doing patience, what is patience for what, all this seeing as like a lack of inherent existence. That's the we call as perfection of patience practice. I mean like perfection of patience. Okay, and then it will be also help you understand that in Sanskrit it says like khanti, right? The patient is English word, and then in Sanskrit it say khanti. Tibetan says Sherpa, right? Sherpa. So khanti is actually describing saying Khan means like a distraught. Ti means like a shanti as more peace or calm. Kind of like a piece of distraught, or like a how to say Say calm of disturbing mind.
expressing this, in my mind, I picture that blue story would be creepy tornado that
Mhm.
patients don't seem like directly words.
Okay, can be also, this is not that I'm like describing the definition, okay, I'm describing the terms of Kanti or terms of patience and so on. Kanti, T sometimes is like a eliminate, the T is like eliminate, can is what called, it's like a word is disturbing. So eliminate or end of disturbing or end of anger and resentment. So that kind of terms can be means ending of resentment and destroy resentment and anger, or like say ending the ending of disturbing things, disturbing mind, right? And ending of yeah, disturbing mind. That's the setting. Ending of disturbing mind. This is like a counting. So okay. Uh-huh.
Why did they choose the motivation? Why they use the sensation of disturbance, sensation of
You can say that. You can say that.
motivation. Actually, what is the definition of the term? But it's using a way to get to sensation of disturbance. The translation is telling you the way to get to sensation of disturbance, which is patience. But just to say cessation of the mental disturbance.
Same here. Once you say term and definition, right? So term as much as shorter will be better to remind it. Then always has a discrimination there, always has a definition there. So either you call you want to say, okay, the cessation of this and that, that's okay, it's a little bit long terms. And it's just a patient, what is meaning that the cessation of this and that. You can say that also, right? So this is I don't know. This is like you asking me that which I don't have controlling these things. Why are you asking me? I don't have a control that say, okay, patient, everyone needs to say that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, sure, sure. So just sharing that knowledge, then so your own way to think how to actually what we're learning here is actually is now how to say it to others. What we're learning here is how to think myself, right? If you think more cessation of this and that by helping more to you, you can use that term, no problem, right? It's better to better to understand, yeah. Well, yeah, they are here. We are not learning for how to describe to other, right? So here we're learning how to be train myself, how to change myself. That's our way we learn it. Therefore, it's important to know about definition about the definition of patience. Okay. Okay, this is the definition of patience. So now it says, okay, another side is anger. Actually, it comes like both the benefit of patience and fault of having anger. But we already talked about the patience. Let me talk about the anger then, right? So many of us, again, has a confused with an anger. Sometimes you do have an anger that but saying, I do not have an anger, right? So therefore, we need to find it out there, what is the really definition of anger? And then there are many, how many similar there, right? So some like a what is similar for you to anger? So what's that? Frustration and anything else? Yeah, yeah, I hear that many times, but I'm not really clear about the frustration things, how you people feel it, how to describe in English word. But we have 20, like a 20, like a 22 secondary, like a mental affections, right? And then 6 root mental affections. So within this, like a 27, totally 6, and like a root and secondary mental affections, how many similar there? Without like if we need to find out similar as anger, we only need to look at with this like a 6 root and 20 secondary, right? So 26 total, 26 negative mind, 26 negative emotion. So we have to only look at that in this. So other side of mind is the positive mind. It's not really negative emotion. So therefore, within 26 negative emotions, so far here, what called number 7. Number 7 is the violence mind, the violence and non-violence, right? The violence, the mind, like torturing to others. It's violent minds, right? Violence. It's called violence. What's it? Violence, right? It's violence. You describe more physical actions or mind actions? More physical actions. Can be both.
Yes, somebody can be violent, somebody they can talk to you, they can torture you, with their speech, with their music, with their speech, they can be violent, with their verbal.
So now here, I'm not talking about the physical action one, okay? The violence one I talked it, so which has a mind to like a no compassion, right? Mind that no empathy. What's that? Malice. Okay, malice. Okay, that's the one mind. Yeah. Malice. Yeah, I heard the malice many times. Okay, that's one mind, the malice, and then jealousy, and what is called like a anger, right? And hatred, and what is there? And resentment, and again, there one word there in so sorry. I cannot hear you. Oh, the resentment is like taking revenge, right? Resentment is what? You holding it. Yeah. These are the similar, okay? These are the similar here. Anger, hatred, anger, jealousy, malice, like a resentment, and then one word there. I forget one of this, one of the mental affection, which is similar with it. Spite. Okay, spite. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's how many? 5 things there, right? How can make differentiate between these 5? Once you understand differentiate these 5, then you will be understand what is really anger, right? Because these are the similar with the anger, resentment. So first they say anger and hatred, right? Hatred, anger, that's true. And then spite and malice, and then jealousy, and then resentment, right? 6, okay, 6 here. So first we say the malice. The malice is not necessary to have kind of like a harming others, right? It has to be have like a harmful intention. It's not necessary to harmful intention. The malice is here just lack of compassion. Just lacking of compassion and having harmful intention has a big difference. Right? Anytime we harm to other, it's necessary to have to be a harmful intention all the time. Habitually we're doing so many things, right? Or like even you don't have harmful intentions, like intently you do not have a harming, but you're teasing or you are doing with the jealousy. These are not necessarily harmful intentions, okay? So therefore malice here describing is just lack of compassion, lack of empathy. This is malice, which not necessarily has to have harmful intention, but could be have a harmful intention, but in general everything is not necessarily harmful intentions. Therefore we make describe just malice, lack of compassion.
Negative intention.
And then what?
That's why I use the word callous. Callous. To be callous, that having malice. You have malice, you have negative intention.
No, negative intentions has to be? Then I don't know.
That's not the right word.
Okay, Tibetan word is namtse, number tsewa, okay? Number tsewa, can you look at the chukka? Number tsewa, ranada namanam. Okay. What is that? Kamala namse lakhalag do.
Maybe you should look at callous.
La.
Number two, Galfina. Tawarish no get some score.
Dilagramare. Not to Nishun and namse down, number Misewa Lajua.
Galfina.
Okay. Did you do it? What's it? Nick rupture. Okay, number 7 here. It's like killing, hostility, harmfulness, killing, beating others. It's a malice. Okay. Whether we are same term or not, what I'm describing is some mind there which just wants to harm, it's not the intention in the harming. It's not intentionally harming, but it's harming, right? It's possible? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not intentionally harming, but it's harming. It's very close to similar as anger, but it's not anger. It is not called anger. It is whatever we call it. I don't know. It's harming, but do not have a harmful intention. In Tibetan word, we call number tsewa. That's we said it.
Just be a nice person. Somebody can be a nice person and do something without any intention.
I'm not looking nice person, okay? The person is really harming it. Person is harming it, but not necessarily like a harmful intention with that, right?
Somebody not only doesn't have a harmful intention, like you say, but he doesn't even know that he's harming someone.
We are what looking is similar as anger. We are looking similar as anger. Nice person actions cannot be similar as anger. Yeah. Therefore, I'm not using malice. The terms. Resentments I have a separately there. Resentment I have a separate there. But the mind there, which do not have harmful intentions, but it's harming, which is lack of compassion. So that's like No, not Lagomani. Oh, okay. Huh. Okay. So that's one thing. And then resentment, we Tibetan call is kunzing. The kunzing means which is like you're holding whatever someone done to you, right? You're holding it, and then like what called okay.
It's festering inside. It's cooking inside.
Okay. Yeah, resentment is more revenging, right? Revenging. You someone done to you, and then you're not forgetting it, hold it, and then you are looking revenge. So that mind is similar as anger, but not for itself is anger.
The action that harms the center more than very often more than it has any action towards the
Here we're talking about mental state, okay? Mental state, resentment is like resentment is not take revenge yet, okay? You are going to take revenge. So, but until you take revenge, you're holding in your mind that whatever done.
they sort of blocks your passion. Okay, right? That whole thing blocks your passion.
Of course, this whole the blocks compassion. I don't know how to explain it exactly. Can you help me? First, listen to everything what I described it. Then, based on that, if you like a more explanation, it will be good. So first here, resentment. What I'm saying here, Tibetan is kunzin. Again, it's a mind, it's a mental stage which is holding whatever someone done to you negative. So holding it and looking revenge. That's the resentment. So keep it that way. Keep it that way first, and then jealousy. That we all know, right? Jealousy is jealousy is just you have like a what called I would say you have some kind of uncomfortable feeling, but not necessary to harm back. Once you have a jealousy to someone, it's not necessary harm back. Once you see like someone has the book better than you, you just you just feel harm. So like you just feel uncomfortable. That means not necessary that you have to have harm to them, right? Jealousy do not necessary to harm to them. Resentment is harming, is revenging it.
You can resent somebody without wanting to.
Okay, can you explain me these 5 different things in Tibetan? Namse, Hondo, Torah, Kunzin, Tsikpa, and Chakdo. 6 things. Can you explain me these 6 different things? Or you are thinking 6 are same, or you are thinking 6 are different? Okay.
I'm trying to be helpful. When somebody uses English word resent, you don't teach anything. So
That's I understand.
you can be resentful without wanting revenge. You can be resentful for 50 years against somebody and never act on it. So resentful doesn't mean that you're planning revenge, like you said. You can be resentful in the moment you die for 8 years, but don't act on it, don't want revenge. Just keep it inside. That's all what I'm trying to do.
You're trying to say that malice.
No, wait a second. I'm talking
Did I say it has to be take revenge? Did I say take to have? It's holding for revenge.
No, you can be Without
Okay.
thinking about revenge, you can be resentful against somebody because they did something to you. And you can resent them your whole life, but you're not going to do any revenge. You don't even think about revenge. You just resent.
You can't have revenge.
Okay? So you can have resentment without thinking about revenge, without wanting revenge. I'm just trying to tell you, the word resentment doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to do revenge. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, this is the English translation then. So I'm just describing what Tibetan word kunzin. Tibetan word kunzin, right? Kun is like a holding, and zin means looking for some kind of revenge. That's Tibetan word kunzin. But so far, translation in English, it's a resentment. But if you have another word, it will be good. So that's what I'm describing. Okay, let's say I'm forgetting about the English term. I'm describing here Tibetan word. The mind there is like a, which has a like a holding and taking revenge. So that's what we call kunzin. And then mind there is have just uncomfortable seeing someone has a better than you, but do not have a harmful intention at the moment. That we call chakto, as a translated English, jealousy. And then control, it's like control is like a hatred in translated English. So control is you are really strongly wants to harm to someone, but you don't know if you are harming by physically or harming by mentally or harming by verbally. You don't know which way to harm it. You know, you have that kind of mind which really wants to harm it, but you don't know which way to harm it. That's we call hatred. But that hatred is not like whether the person or things in front of you or not. You always have that kind of thought which wants to harm it, but you don't know which way to harm it. That's hatred, so far we call. And that anger has to be that's like an object in front of you who cause you have anger. Like say someone use harsh word to you, you have anger. And then like today, for example, like say today someone like use harsh word to you and you get anger, right? The anger at the moment, you really want to physically harm it. You verbally harm it, that you want it. You are like a say harsh word bad, or you want to fight. That kind of strongly, like I say fire. If we pour the gasoline, it comes through, right? Strong, and then it immediately goes. That's anger. So it's like at the moment it comes really strong, and then it's like a second moment or like a few letters, it will become. And then next time, like and then after you the left, then you do not have any harmful intention with these persons. That's anger. Anger is like a movement which you harm by physically, strongly, but it caused by hatred, right? And then also anger brings you hatred, okay? Because hatred is whether the person is in front of you or not. Like I say, for example, go back. So right now is someone harsh would speak to you, and then you have anger, okay? So after someone come in like you go your own way, and then you keep thinking on that. You keep thinking on that. So how bad it is, for again and again and again and again and again and again, any long time, month and years. That hatred. You keep holding that harmful intentions. You don't know which way to harm it, but you keep holding that harmful intentions because of thinking the condition which you arise to you have that kind of hatred mind. Okay? The hatred is the more danger because you keep having that harmful intention. That's how I would describe. Having harmful intention, do not have harmful intentions, right? So anger, at the moment you have a harmful intentions, but at the next moment could be it's gone, right? It could be gone. It's anger. So this is different between anger and hatred. Hatred is holding long time harmful intention. Anger is just moment having harmful intention, but stronger than anger. Hatred. This is different. Both has a harmful intention, but the anger that with harmful intention, you try to harm it, close to harming it, or you know which way to harm it, physically, verbally, right? And then hatred is you are not really close to harm it, but always hold that I want to harm, but you don't know which way to harm it. So that's different between anger and hatred. So and then what do you call? And then number 7 is their mind. There's some just lack of compassion, but not necessarily do not have a harmful intention. It's just lack of compassion, and then you are ignoring even someone jumping from cliff. You see that person, right? Then you do not have any empathy. You do not have some kind of empathy, a feeling that you want to save them. You do not have it. Just let it go. That means you do not have a harmful intention at the moment, but you harms. You don't care. You harms, right? That one mind. It's close to. Once you harm, it's close to looks like anger. But I'm saying here intentional inner feeling, right? Inner feeling, with the inner feeling, I'm saying it. So okay, these are the different jealousy, and then anger and hatred and resentment. One what we call malice or whatever.
Dislike for harm doers attainment and delighting in their trouble. Is that more like what you're trying to describe with that mind?
Say it again.
Like what we're talking
Kunzin, yeah.
That's like, maybe I'm not going to harm that person directly, but if it happens some other way, I might like that. Or like if I don't want them to be too happy, so if they get something good, maybe that bothers me. Like that.
I mean, Kunzin, not really like that. Kunzin is actually, you are like a, what's it? Low.
Resentment is adherence to enmity.
Resentment is adherence to
Enmity.
okay. 아니, 늘 같이도, malice la 같이도.
Malice.
He's reading the article book, the science, inner science of Buddhism practice, Buddhist practice.
Malice ti dina nyemasu.
Chenmo.
Malice ti nyemasu.
Alele antigre.
Number 2 tissue. Tela di karfa spite la del ditisha. Spite la acrimony expressed through heated words. Spite la
가르친다.
acrimony fa bracket na expressed bracket close through heated words. Soba jawado shi.
Heated words. Okay. 칙발 들어. 나 어디래디?
Sipa.
Okay. Okay. So sleeping. I try to make you understand better, but it's getting more complicated. So. Chenmo is like a great dictionary. Okay. But anyhow, if you look at the mode, it's like the mind differentiated between mind things. That you will let you understand better anger, because we divided, like even similar things, we divided not this or not this. Even like a first moment of anger, second moment of anger, we not call really like anger or this and that, right? So it has a different first movement and second movement. So because it's like a feeling is different, attitude is different, then like an intention is different. So therefore, if you know that, so then it will be help you. But again, I'm just briefly saying what is anger and hatred. Actually, the patient is the opposite of both anger and hatred. So what is hatred is having harmful intentions every time, whether that things is in front of you or not, having harmful intention in any time, but you are not really prepared which way to harm it. That's hatred. And anger is strongly like wants to harm, and then at the moment you know which way to harm it, right? So it's in front of you. Maybe you will get slapped, or maybe you shoot, maybe you are yelled, you're doing it something, which is in front of you. Who's not in front of you, always thinking I'm harming, but don't know which way to do it, right? Which is in front of you, then you will take some kind of action with harms. That means you clearly know how you harming is. That's the difference between anger and hatred, but both should have a harmful intentions. So which do not have a harmful intentions, any similar one, that which do not have a harmful intentions, which is not necessary to have harmful intentions, is not counted anger or hatred. So therefore, if you see many similar things, the first step, is necessary harmful intention or not? So if they are not necessary harmful intention, it's not anger or hatred. So that's how we need to describe it.
We explain it now. 1 minute. Hatred is this. Anger is this. The body intention, anger in front of you, hatred all the time, and then there's no very intention, it's not anger, it's not anger. That is a beautiful way of explaining it. It's a clean way of explaining.
Understand.
All the things that Lamrim is writing to you, complicates things because human emotion, you don't categorize human emotion like numbers.
Yeah, I understand. That my final explanation is I just no choice, therefore I did it. But if I do have a choice, I really want to explain what a different type of mind. Because I have said that many of them don't understand many different type of mind. So it's important to know. It's not important to know just explanation. These are things, and then you will see someday very similar with it. Then you will feel it is anger. Then you don't know again about anger. That's the way I'm trying, right? That's the way I'm doing it. Yeah.
Janine sent a message regarding and she was given a definition of sociopath, which the latter part of the definition is it's a type of person. They consistently show a lack of regard for others' feelings or violations of people's rights. So is that applicable to
I don't understand that.
Okay. So she's trying to, I think she's trying to provide a definition of English word. And
definition of what? Anger? Number 7. Okay.
And she said sociopath, or a person with a personality disorder manifesting itself in extreme antisocial attitudes and behavior and a lack of conscience. And the part that I just they consistently show a lack of regard for others' feelings or violations of people's rights.
Yeah, it could be. It could be, yeah. Yeah, it could be. It could be, yeah. Yeah. So that's the number 7. What terms in English there?
Harmfulness.
Harmfulness. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Jigidu. So anyhow, that's it's taking a long time to explain it. But you are clear, right? But you should know which is really anger, which is not really anger. And then because if you know it, and then you can apply as perfect remedy for that. If you do not know it, then you try to apply remedy, but sometimes it's not worked, then you might confuse. So, okay. So okay, so but so now we can go next. It's now as we briefly explain what is the definition of patience and what mean anger, and then how many similar there. Okay. So now next it says where is it? Yeah. Oh, okay. It says perfecting patience means that you simply complete your conditioning to a state of mind wherein you have stopped your anger, and then like is completing patient practice or not. That's the saying again. It's same as like a what called generosity and morality, right? So patient practice means you don't have to complete external which harms to you, right? You don't have to be overcome by external harm which harms to you. Completing patient practice means complete your mind stream which is never ever disturbed by this causing condition. That's your complete patient practice. Completing patient practice means you don't have to be challenge external one by one, or you don't have to be overcome by all this external. Yeah, overcome, yes, it is overcome. But how to say? The external the difficulty and troubles don't have to become finished external difficulty and troublemakers, right? So external difficulty troublemakers may be still remaining as same amount there. It could be complete your patient practice, right? So like external difficulty and troublemaker still remaining as same amount, but could be your patient practice could be complete without like without finish with all external troublemakers, without complete external troublemakers. That's how complete. Don't have to end troublemaker. Troublemaker, they are beings or things, and there are many.
Oh, yes, control.
That's what I'm saying, external, you know. So, okay, that's how he explained here, completing patience, same as like a generosity and morality, right? Generosity means you don't have to complete things don't have to be, oh, again, they're beautiful words, I forget it. It was some, in generosity one day, it's in Lamrim, but Ivan mentioned it. What's it? It's like it's a poor poverty. Poverty. Okay, poverty is something. Yeah, yeah. It's a don't have to be end of poverty, but you can still complete your generosity practice. Same as morality practice. Yeah, we're going to read that. Yeah. So therefore, that's the Shantideva said. It's like a completing patient practice means. Okay, Sean, can you read that? Read it from. Read it from perfecting patience means that you simply complete. Okay.
Perfecting patience means that you simply complete your conditioning to a state of mind wherever you have stopped your anger and the like. It is not contingent upon all living beings becoming free from undisciplined conduct, because you would not be able to bring this about, and because you accomplish your purpose just by disciplining your own mind. Engaging in the bodhisattva states, undisciplined persons are as limitless as space. You can never overcome them. If you conquer the single mental state of anger, it is like vanquishing all your enemies. Where could you get enough leather to cover the entire surface of the earth? Wearing just the leather of your sandals is like covering all of the earth. Similarly, I cannot change external things, but when I can change my state of mind, why do I need to change anything else?
Okay. So that means how to complete it, your patient practice, and same thing, same time, we should learn that how to overcome by that all this external difficulty, right? So you have to go one by one to talk. You have to go one by one to challenge it, to ending this all your enemy. You have to go one by one. It's not really say that, right? Because and completing patient practice is your enemy could be like a same amount, they are 10 or 10, same remaining as same, but still you can complete patient practice. That means really telling you, you don't have to go one by one to challenge it, right? So going to one by one to challenge is never ended, then you never having patient practice. So patient practice just ended your anger, just ended of your hatred to others. That's the patient practice. Okay. Therefore, it's depend on how you think it. It's depend on what reason you have it to overcome by anger. So, someone yelling, there's something. Some practitioner thinking it's not yelling, it's teaching. That's the you overcome by anger then, right? So how you think it, that's the depend. So if you then if you have a lack of understanding how you think it, follow the Lamrim, follow these many different mind training, follow the Shantideva text. Has a beautiful remedy, beautiful thoughts there. Whether you like or not like, just follow it. It will be let you overcome by the anger. So that's how we completing our patient practice. That's how we overcome by difficulty, right? And then also you should know also that same things. Once you do, like I say, you do not have to go one by one challenge it. It means it's not really saying you be quiet. It's not really saying you just take care, like a be pay. I mean, like a never challenge it. It's not saying you shouldn't challenge, right? You never challenge it, right? So submissive means you don't have to do that. You don't have to submit. Okay. So submissive, you don't have to be submissive. Then therefore you can still do something, but without anger. Just said it, right? Without anger. So first, control your anger. Never have anger. But sometimes, really inside, subtle, we do have anger, but not manifested strongly. That lets you feel that I do not have anger, but you do. Well, you're right. So therefore, it's really careful that if you try to stop anger, like which is strong comes outside, but still like a subtle is there. It could be like a small fire, make big fire. Could be problem in the future. So that's need to be clear, right? Even the small things we need to be clear. So never ending anger is even the subtle things that you have to clear it. Same remedy, do over and over, right? So if you say you have a strong dirty in your shirt and clear by soap, gross and subtle, they don't have a true remedy. One soap, you putting over and over, it will be clear everything within subtle and everything, right? That's how we do. Remedy is same. So you have to do over and over and recognize it. I do have anger. Sometimes we are not realizing it. That's the problem. Okay.
I don't feel bad, so I tell myself, oh, I'm really angry.
Yeah, and then extra, they're lying again, right? So then extra negative. Having anger and then not having anger, lying, and then extra anger, right? Extra negative actions, right? So, okay, these are which like the hard things we need to know before we engage this practice. Okay, now it says second, how to begin the cultivation of patience. The same. To begin the cultivation practice, patience is depend on your practice. The practice is depend on your aspirations, interesting aspirations. That's is very important. Once you have a strong aspiration to engage in patient practice, that let you finish, it help you to complete it. If you do not have any strong aspiration to engage in like a patient practice, then you cannot complete it, or you will not start it, right? So having an aspiration, strong aspiration is very important. And then if you do not have aspiration, you might forget it, wait until someone tell you, okay, do patient practice. Then you will do it. 10 days after, you'll forget again. Then someone need to be reminded again and again. It means you do not have your own strong aspirations, right? Once you have it, no need to remind you by someone, or their whatever circumstances, you will do it. You will complete it. You will not say, oh, this part is difficult, this part is not difficult. You will not say that. If you really have a strong aspiration to engage patient practice, right? That's just like important. So now to begin the cultivation of that aspiration, there are many different ways. Like Bodhisattva Bhumi says something, and then there Asanga Two text says some different things. But here Lamrim mentioned is same as like a morality and generosity. Think more the benefit of having patient practice, and then think more fault of having anger. That's all, right? But once you hear that, think more benefit and fault of anger. So you shouldn't think, is there any other things there? Well, instead of just following it, you might think any other there to idea to how to have aspiration. Because this is taught by who have experience and brings us to perfect one who is the beginner, right? We never have aspirations, beginner. So beginner, talking this is more simple, not that difficult, and then everyone's looking their own benefit, no one looking their fault, right? Because as we're looking benefit, why you not think benefit of having patience? If you see more benefit in having patience, really help you to have that kind of strong aspirations. So therefore, it's perfect, suitable for with us as a beginner, that idea to cultivating benefit, thinking of the patience of the benefit of patience, and then having anger or fault, right? This practice is common. This practice is one of the common practice with every single practice. So generosity, again, same, benefit and fault. Morality, benefit and fault. Bodhicitta, benefit and fault. Emptiness, benefit and fault. So then, because this thing, these two is brings you aspiration. Interesting, right? Once you have it, then you will go by your own way. So, and then never stop it. That's not how I need to do it, right? Therefore, it says now benefit and fault. And then which benefit counted in Lamrim, like let's say now benefit and fault. Many text explanation, the fault is first, right? Which is wrong, which is wrong, which is wrong, which is wrong. But Lama Tsongkhapa start from benefit first, which is good, which is good, which is, that's what we want to hear it first, right? Exactly suitable with us. If he explained what is fault at the beginning, it could be discouraged to you to do like this. Oh, I do not have anything, so I'm doing a lot of wrong day by day. is this wrong? Then if you see one wrong, two wrong mistake, you will accept it. And if you see like 10 different wrongdoings in your life, you will not see, oh, well, now this is not wrong. Because you're really going down, right? You will not accept, oh, it's not wrong. So this is, it's common things. We all know that. Therefore, start with the benefit, which is good. And then, again, I'm not really explanation which is benefit in Lamrim. At least you have a question on that. And then adding more from other texts, the word benefit there. Right? Okay. Yeah, the Bodhisattva Bhumi talks about that the 5 different type of benefit, and then Compendium of Perfections talks about 7 or 9 different benefits there, right? And now Lama Tsongkhapa's another text called what called Song of Spring, Song of Experience. Okay, yeah, Songs of Experience. That short Lamrim. So the short Lamrim said like, forbearance is the supreme ornament for those who have power. It is the greatest protection against the agonies of afflictions. Agonies, right? AGONI. Yes. Agnes. Okay. Okay. So it is the greatest protection against the agonies of afflictions, against its enemy, snag of heat, it is Garuda crushing in the sky. And then against the weapon of harsh wood, it is the stronger armor. Okay, saying the patient practice is like an armor, never harms by the like harsh wood, right? It's once you wear it, any harsh word you hear it, blaming or harsh word or criticizing, everything you hear it, it's not harms to you, right? That your patient practice will be blocked. You will hear it. You will hear it, you understand the meaning, but you will not have anger, right? That means not harms to you. It's not disturbed to your mind. Oh, sorry. So that is the patient, the one benefit of patient practice. And then it says like the Garuda is like Garuda is one big bird, which is like always, what's it?
Feed on snake. Feed on snake.
Snake
mythological bird which feeds on snake. Feet. Saulagora. Feet.
Okay, that's
Kanun against antidote browse and against
her, yeah, okay. Garuda it seems like our passion is now remedy for like anger, right? So Garuda is kind of like a snake is like a okay, I'm just giving an example. The snake here is giving example as a hatred, right? Hatred, and Garuda here is giving example as like a patience, which is remedy. The Garuda eats the snake, whether it has a poison or not. The snakes are like a cat and mice. So what do you call? The mice always scared to cats, right? Same way the snake always scared to that Garuda. So therefore, Garuda is has a kind of overshine or overcome, overpowering to snake, right? Oh, sorry, predator. Okay, so that's the saying hatred and like a patience as like that. So you are overpowering to hatred and anger once you have a patient practice, and then it's like the greatest protector against the agonoise of reflections. It's again the patient practice is the like I say. What we counted here, malice, anger, hatred, resentment, jealousy, it's like a jealousy, it is, again, disturbed our mind, right? So that patient practice is overpowering all these things, you overcome by all these things. Therefore, it's greatest. And then supreme ornament for those who have a power, like a power of patience. It's saying the Bodhisattva once have the strong the patience practice, and then it's kind of always ornament, always beautiful, always helpful, right? Because it's like it's become arms, not let you harm by it. There's like any harsh word and things. It's become arms like never let you have anger. And hatred, it's become like a greatest arms, which is never cause you have like a not takes you up like a making mind unpeaceful, right? So by reflections, by it's overcome by that. Therefore, it says the ornaments, always ornaments. And this, knowing this, we should habituate ourselves with the armor of excellent forbearance by all possible means. I, a yogi, have practiced in this manner. You who is like aspire for liberation should do likewise. So this is like a talking benefit by Lama Tsongkhapa text, and also Nagarjuna, Chandrakirti text, Madhyamika Avatara Nama. Do you have that? You have it? You don't have it? If you have it, like look at the chapter 3, the verses 8, 9, 10. Chandrakirti.
Imagine wearing an invisible armor. Against your armor, walking around the time with invisible armor, protecting you as things get you angry.
Why invisible?
Because other people are going to see only you.
You have to armor invisible in here.
It's visible for you. Visible for you.
Yeah, okay. It's like an invisible armor. Yeah, yes, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, Shabbat looking at. It says also how the patient practice is important for us. And then I'm reading here the spiritual mentor Chengawa. Chengawa is what one of Kadamba Master said. He said, give the following teaching to the assembly of his disciple in general. In general, if you were to condense all the teachings, all 3 scriptural baskets and the 2 vehicle, they would be embodied in the 2. Yeah, they would be embodied in the 2 of these. Refraining from harming others and helping others. That's all practice. It's not just called as patient practice, right? Every single Buddhist practice is combined into refrain harming others, right? Refraining from harming others and helping others. If you cannot helping others, at least refraining from harming others. That's the stated. And now he continues to say, okay, this 2 is the main practice. This 2 is the embody of all these Buddha's teachings. to put these two into practice, forbearance is the critical. So without forbearance, you will retaliate against the harm that inflict upon you. And when this happens, you do not turn away from causing harm, right? Without this, there is no helping others. Once you not remain restraining to harming others, there's no way to helping others, right? Forbearance blocks you, help you to stop not harming others. Once you're not harming others, it allows you to help others. Otherwise, you are not having none of those, right? So to succeed in your Dharma practice, forbearance is the essential, right? Every single practice. So you need a forbearance practice. This is like it's help you to refraining from harming others and helping others. This is the Buddhist teaching. It's main those things. And then, okay, it's passing 9 now. Just read it fast, like 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Patience makes you beautiful and dear to holy beings. Through patience, you are skilled in doing right and wrong. In afterlives, you will be born as human or divine, and negativity will have no hold. Common folk and bodhisattvas both, who understand the good of patience and the ill of wrath, abandon anger swiftly and forever, adopting patience praised by noble ones. For patience, even pledged to perfect Buddhahood, if practiced with the 3 concerns, is bound within the world. Yet practiced without reverence, this, the Buddha said, it leads beyond the world, transcended.
Okay. So sorry for I just waste time with explaining this different type of like a similarly anger. It's okay. So we're going to stop here now. What's that? Yeah, okay. Sa shi de chu shi na do da me da de shi de ya ba de sang ge qing de me to he nam da xing la zhe da shuo yi da ma gu ru da na me de la ga ni ya da ya. May the precious supreme bodhicitta arise in those in whom is not yet, and where it is rising, may it not decrease or ever increase more. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Is this help? Does this help you? Okay.